Yeah, she wants the cat who's
Every time I see her, she does that. She's probably like, what in the heck? Hi! You're so freaking cute! I love you!
Yeah, I know it. Don't you?
Oh, really?
Yeah, is that yours?
Thank you. Yeah, it's a salad. Thanks, we love you.
Love you too.
Okay, so we are live. Hello, everyone. Thank you for all of your beautiful souls for showing up here this morning. Amanda, thank you for asking me to do this. Like, actually, Amanda asked me, she was like, you know what? We need to do a live for everybody in the group because they just need to know this. And I'm like, sure, like that would be amazing and awesome. So I was really excited about that too. So thank you for asking me to do this.
Oh, thank you just for being you. I mean, like you are my answer to the asking years ago and continue to be in so many ways. And who knew, like, 3 years ago, I would just become so good friends with you and we would travel and just do so many amazing things. So it's amazing what the universe brings us when we just ask for it.
I know, it's so cool. It's so cool for me too to be able to see even your progress, even my progress, right? Like think about where I was before, I was just starting when I met you. And so it was like in this online world. So it's like, wow, to see how far we've come, and one of the things I really wanted to talk to you about today too is the goddess energy, because I was thinking about that last night and I was like, I remember when I taught you the 9 weeks of goddesses and like, how beautiful and amazing it was for you. And not even like physical manifestations, because a lot of physical manifestations happen, but just the way that you started to look when you start embodying that goddess energy,
Exactly. And that's exactly what happens is you taught me all these ways to invoke their presence, right? And what they're for and ways to be able to use them in my life, and not just my life, but for the greater good of all, right? So it's in manifesting, it's in just walking and talking every day, it's in changing your complete mindset. But then they bless you with basically integrating with you.
Yeah.
And with that you just begin to embody it. So you look better, you feel better, you walk it and talk it, literally.
You also start seeing it work. So before we even like get way into this, let's everyone just get connected. So everyone just close your eyes and tune into your heart space and take a deep breath. And as you exhale, just let it all go and just feel that goddess energy in your sacral chakra. If you're drawn to watching this right now, there's some part of you that does desire to wake this aspect of you up. It does make life a lot easier. So just allowing yourself to really feel into that divine mother. And I surround the space with the white light of divine love and call forth all of the highly evolved angelic beings to be here with us and in our lives. And if you agree, then say yes. And I thank you all for being here. May we all be the light the world needs. And we say these things in the name of love. Amen.
Amen.
So I remember when I first started out, I was in the middle. It was like doing all the groundwork for the online world. And then I hit like a stopping point where it just like wasn't working. So I had to come back and go into my other business, which I had a salon. And so it was a very successful salon. I was #1 in my city, in Los Angeles to San Diego. Like everybody knew me, would come to me because I did high level services. So I had that game down. I mean, I'd been doing it for 15 years. And that's actually how I was able to spend so much time with an individual woman at one time, is like 8 hours back in the day when you first start doing, different kinds of hair extension methods. So I was able to use everything that I was learning in school for NLP and hypnosis and all that stuff on my clients. And so I could see the fast progress of it happening. And so when I was in that space and it was like, okay, I had to go back to the drawing board. I'm like, okay, forget the online world. I was in the middle of this manifesting love course. I was teaching it. I had this crazy experience where the man that I was with suddenly showed who he really was. And he was, the narcissist. I mean, he had me fooled for 1.5 years. me fooled
Yeah.
for a year and a half. So I knew it was like a huge karmic lesson after that. And I was part of learning. And so going through that experience and then being like, oh my gosh, I'm teaching all these women how to manifest love. My relationship just ended. I mean, I ended up having to kick him out, make him think it was his idea so he didn't kill me. And then him going to see all the things that he was actually doing when it was just devastation for me. So I was like, you know what? I'm not doing this online stuff anymore. I'm going back to the salon because that's what I know. And so I went back in there and I still had the salon. So I went back in there and I came up with a game plan. I had the best hair. I already had the distribution. So I had this product that was exclusive to me. Contracts were signed. They couldn't distribute to anybody else. I had my own method of doing it. It was about to go big. It was about to launch big. I had all the investors that I needed. I needed to sign one more thing, and that would have been it. And my income was guaranteed at that point in time. It was like you will be multi-millions a year. It was insane because it's like an 800% markup when you're doing direct sales of this product. And so I remember, and it was like, yes, I will have all the money. But what will happen, I will never see my children. I will be like chained to my business. And then, Sam, she was like, I need you to come talk to my group of women. They need motivation, because I also had my coaching practice on the side that I was doing with my high levels then. And so I was like, okay, yeah, let's set up a call series. So we set up a call series. I got in there. All of a sudden it was like, boom, overnight, all this crazy thing happened. And then I was like, oh my gosh, I have to create some kind of course. And so I remember that when I started embodying the goddess energy and that flow, that I could reteach it. So I came up with this Angels and Goddesses course. It was the very first one that I did. You remember that one? It was an 8-week course. Yeah. I didn't know how I was going to make it happen. I had already been at my wits' end financially at that point in time, because I invested all my money in getting the trademarks and patents for all of these things that I needed for this other business. I had put everything into it. I still owed investors money who had already invested in it. And then I had this thing that I knew was my soul's purpose, but wasn't guaranteed, that I was scared shitless to do, because it meant I was going to have to go out and talk in front of people. So I just remember sitting in the parking lot when my son was at the trampoline park, and I was writing out this course, and it was like I was talking about the different goddesses and the angels. And I remember looking up and I said, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to teach them about the angels and goddesses, and I'm going to let go of the other business if you just please support me. Right? So it was like, I'm going to do this if you support me. And I mean, now you can see, obviously I was supported. There was more to it, writing the letter to give it away, which obviously were things that I had taught you to do as well. Yeah. And so it's like, I would always hear people talk about goddess energy before, and I'd just be like, ugh, because they were like kind of weirdos talking about goddesses. So it's just like that whole, oh, be a goddess, embrace your goddess, like come into your goddess energy. And it was like people that I just was like, oh my gosh, they're making that term so weird. And so I never really thought about it. But then when you get into like the ancient traditions, and the Hindu culture of what they actually are in that dimensional world, it is so trippy what it does for your life.
And can I even say that, like, being born and raised in a Christian environment in the church, we're not taught to talk about that, to even study it, or to have any part of that, because it's like you're worshiping some kind of false prophet if you're even thinking about it or gaining knowledge.
Masculine.
You know what I mean?
Masculine one.
Yeah, totally. Fear.
Yeah. And you know what else I found too, now that I've been doing this work long enough and really diving into soul purpose and people, their birth charts and life path, almost every single one of us who is a healer, or even wanting to get into manifesting, has had that religious programming that has had to overcome it. So that's also cool too, because we chose it on purpose.
Yeah.
Choosing
that. You
that
have to be able to see that to get where you're at now. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And I love that, because when you not only ask for it, it's always given, right? So you want to know the solution, but when you get it, right, and that door is open right before you, like you were my answer to the asking. Like, I was at such a loss of a place. I had awakened. I was scared shitless. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I don't understand what's going on. I don't understand what this is. Okay, I'm told I'm psychic. I'm told him this. What do I do with it? There was no one there to help me. And I was just praying to God, bring me that one person. And he brought me you. Yeah. And so you have to be, when you get the answer to the asking, you have to go through with it. Yeah. You have to go through with it. And for me, it was I mean, I've been in every course that you've ever offered.
Yeah.
I've worked with you one on one for years now, several years, ever since I met you when you launched Power of a Woman.
Mhm.
And I can just tell you the magnitude of it is incredible. And then I went into, I mean, coming from a narcissistic, emotionally abusive marriage myself,
Mhm.
I had to really learn the reprogramming, that you taught me.
Yeah.
I used to be such a self-hate person, and even now I love the fact I can stand in the mirror even when I'm getting ready, and you don't hate on yourself,
Yeah.
because I know everybody has done that in their lifetime.
Yeah. That's what
you
we're
know
taught. We're conditioned that way.
so with
Everybody.
the goddess energy helps you heal. Helping reprogramming my thoughts, my brain, my walk and talk and walk and talk. I can walk it and talk it in every aspect of my day now,
Yeah.
and it's shifted me completely. I'm not who my ex-husband said I was. I'm
Right.
not crazy. I'm
Right.
not this. I'm not that. I am me. I'm a healer. I'm a medical medium,
Mhm.
and I embrace it and just embody it now
Yeah.
with all the love and light that I can do now. And I'm not afraid to be who I am. I'm just
Yeah.
not afraid of anything.
I know.
It's the
So
most
cool.
beautiful thing. And
Even to
even
see where
as a
you came
single
from.
mom, like wondering how I would manifest the money to work with you, right? And it didn't matter if it doesn't matter what dollar amount. I had such old programming,
Yeah.
not only from family money scarcity story that was always just around you, that my ex-husband would do the same thing. We made a lot of money, both being police officers, and I can remember having to be at the grocery store because he had me on a budget. That was part of his control.
Mhm.
And I can remember being at the grocery store, having my calculator, walking through, adding everything up because I only had this much money to use, right? And I had a
Yeah.
baby, and never buy anything for yourself because
Yeah.
then that would have been called something or another.
Yeah.
But I can remember spending like $13 and 14 cents or something over what the budget was.
Mhm.
And I can remember being so scared driving home that whole way, like panicked, just
Yeah.
so sheer panic. What was I going to tell him? Because he wasn't going to like that.
Yeah.
But you helped me see in that, not only how to manifest money, but how to see that everything he ever did for me was only something to teach me a lesson to be a better version of
Yeah.
myself.
To be
So you
stronger.
can say, yes, the emotional abuse brought me to where I am now. And so now I can look at him and be like, he gave me a huge lesson.
Yeah.
He was
That
selfless
healing.
enough to agree
Yeah.
to this life.
Yeah. Yeah. It really, and then you're not, I mean, are you attracting narcissism now? Are you attracting a man that keeps
No,
you under his
I
thumb
attract the
now?
man
Like,
in my
what's your
dreams,
experience
and
now?
that came 3 years ago too. So
Yeah.
going on 3 years.
Yeah. See, even the correlation, it's like once you, I mean, all it really took was you saying yes to that first course, which was what, 2.5 years ago. It was like, yes, I'm doing it, I'm in, and then following. You didn't know then, and now look at, right? Now look. So just share with them where you're at, like with your soul purpose
Oh
and
gosh, yeah. So, the not only have I had 5 autoimmune diseases that have been a blessing in my life, but I have healed myself from them. With Randina's help, going in, doing the deep inner cellular work. Right? You gotta be able to relive it to carry on and move through it. And now, when I say relive it, it doesn't necessarily mean it's like a painful, here's your trauma again kind of thing. It's beautifully done with the light and the angels, and you really go through it to kind of just see what makes you up and all these things that you have into your fullest potential, right? And healing it in the most instantaneously. So with that, you helped me discover what my soul's purpose was. Like, we kind of knew I was a healer, and then little bits here and there would be shown, and then you said, I really want you to learn Reiki. So I went and became certified in Reiki. Even though I was doing Reiki ever before I got certified, I didn't realize I was doing light weaving with the angels,
yeah.
because I've just always had this art of allowing
Mhm.
the angels into my life to just take over. And then I became, a neurolinguistics programming practitioner as well. I've got several certifications in hypnotism and then other kinds of Reiki modalities. So where I'm at now, having healed myself, the angels, the goddesses, all of the divine, and I, over this 2.5 years plus, have come up with a technique called a soul illumination, and it's literally where we are healing disease, because disease doesn't exist.
Right.
It doesn't. It's something we tell ourselves, and it's just nothing but programming.
Yeah. I think the most amazing thing and the biggest takeaway from this is when you first started, you didn't know what you were going to do. It wasn't even like, oh my gosh, a life purpose, da, 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 da. It was something knowing inside of you. And then once you start taking the steps and allowing the light in more and more, that the darkness really is cleansed away. And then you become on purpose and in alignment with what it is that you came here to do, and it's shown to you. It's not something that you have to find or discover. It's shown to you piece by piece. And as you're going along and transcending and learning that you are a powerful manifester and that you can tune into your heart and really manifest what you want. I mean, your vision boards are like because of the manifesting rituals that we do.
True, yeah.
So it's like, you know how to do it. And with that comes a peace of mind. It comes clarity. It comes, now I have control over my life and my world. I'm not afraid. I know I'm here to create a beautiful, massive empire, which is actually what's happening. So not only that, this is another thing too I want everyone out there to know. I work with nurses, real estate agents, TV personalities. Like, your sole purpose does not have to mean that you are a healer. It can be that you are meant to provide homes for people that fulfills their fantasies, or heal people and be the different kind of nurse that than other people are being, and not allow the nursing industry to take you under, but to really be the light, like the Christ consciousness that you came to be. You know, it could be that you're a TV personality and you want to exude that healing just by your presence. Like, there's so many different things. It's not just about being a healer and transforming people through healing, because you do that with your presence when you know who you are and you know what you came here to do. So it's really, really beautiful, and it's multidimensional and dynamic. And when you learn how to engage the powers in the universe, things really do transform for you in the most miraculous and magical ways. So it does take you saying yes, even when you are afraid. Like, it really does. Like, even if you don't know how you're going to make that payment or how those things are going to unfold, you still have to say yes. To this day, I still have to say yes to myself, but the investments get bigger and bigger, because you have to get versed in being able to do that if you want to be able to have control of your life and receive what it is you say you want to. Because those things that you want in your heart, the more money that you want, the man that you want, the relationship that you want, the healthy body that you want it because it's meant for you. That's why. You don't even realize that you want it until it's already like 98% of the way done. The only thing you have to do is get out of your own way.
And putting money on it is even like so masculine, you know, it's such a control thing, right? And so we know with money, you know what I mean? You want all these things, but then you think, oh, it's money. You're giving way to something else that doesn't belong. Right?
Yeah, you're spending
these things, and it doesn't matter. It's always going to come to you, right? You've always had food to eat. You've always had shoes on your feet. You've always had clothes on your back.
Yeah.
And so it always comes to you when you get rid of the stigma of how much does it cost. It's not, because it's just not even a thought anymore. And I just realize now everything's just a blessing. There's another blessing, right? So when you reprogram, and that whole dynamic, you taught a money course that was amazing. Not to mention just what we went through one-on-one to heal so much of that. But money, it's just not like, and then you want more money, but I just know that it's infinite. It's just infinite, that I'll always be provided for.
Yeah.
And I don't even have to keep putting it out there.
Yeah. I know. It just comes. It just shows up. I was thinking about that last night. I was like, you know what? It literally just flows. I mean, in the last few days, it's like just continuing. You have to have a good relationship with it. You have to know that it is going to support you, that it does come for you, that you are supported in order for it to come like that. But really, once you really don't have that fear and scarcity within you anymore, you're not even thinking about it. It's kind of like, I have a mission. I know what I'm here to do. I'm connected to the divine. I'm going to do what I need to do here. And then it just expands for you.
especially when you're living your purpose on purpose. And the angels even said to me this morning, they were like, you know, money is like putting gas in your car. And then you don't have to think, oh, is it going to run? Is it going to turn on? Is the gas still there? What if I have enough gas? You don't. You put gas in your car and you drive and you don't think about it again.
Yeah, that's another thing too that I want all of you on here to, I'm inviting you to do, is to write out what the things that you want to experience and then ask to be provided for and supported while you're fulfilling your purpose. That's what I did. I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. And it may be a little more challenging, which there's growth in that. And it may take me a few more years to get to that million dollar mark. It just suddenly became about something else rather than about that experience, that lifestyle. And I said, if I use my gifts, and even if you're a mother, you can do this. I'll use my kindness, my compassion to love my children in the best way that I can. And you can provide for me all that I'm asking for, right? Because when you are working, when you are walking your truth, when you are in alignment, there is just something that just naturally takes care of you. You just kind of have this protective energy around you. And honestly, like no matter how much you trip up, no matter how much you stumble, it still will pull you out the minute you let go of the resistance. So as long as you are walking with your heart and you are really being kind to other people, you're going to always be blessed. You just are.
Really, 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 and truly, and everyone around you. So even when I began being, you know, opening up my gifts, you know, nobody wanted to support me around me. And you heal everyone around you the more you embrace who
Yeah,
you
because they're
are.
a
It
reflection of
all
what you
falls into
believe.
place.
Right? Is that not true, Amanda? I remember when we were going through that, and it was like they are a reflection of what you believe about yourself. Every single person cannot respond to you or act to you in any way other than what you internally believe about yourself. And especially those of us who have gifts, we're afraid of being deemed crazy. And so when we are in that like zone of hiding ourselves and not wanting to see, because we've been taught that normal is to not have connection, that if you hear voices or something's talking to you, that means you're schizophrenic, or that means that something is negative or evil or whatever it is. And that's not even the truth. So we hide our uniqueness, we hide our gifts because we are designed to express our gifts and we hide them. And school and all that other conditions us into being normal, conditions us into being in a box so that we are liked. And so we suppress ourselves. And when we do that, it has to reflect on the outside. So of course, when you first are like, oh, I'm gifted and I'm going to express this. And then your family, they're the closest to you. They're going to be the ones to reflect this. And remember when we did that healing, that was the reprogramming the way you viewed yourself. And fucking instantaneously, it was like the next day, everyone in your family started valuing you and now even coming to you for healing themselves.
Yeah. And then I had mom even go to Hawaii on your retreat, you know,
Yeah.
which was the most amazing thing. I can remember like texting you like 12 times a day, being like, Randina, how? This is happening. That is Randina. You were like, it's just a reflection. It's just, you will see. Just, like we were always working through it. And then I mean, you probably got to a point like, I'm glad she's not texting me all the time.
No, I didn't,
Like,
because I love it.
because it wasn't, because everything began being in harmony.
It is a lot easier, I will say. And then I'm like, okay, cool. I can have more high levels because they're like all at this really cool place, and it's funny, like I was saying the other day, is I'll get text messages like, holy shit, mind blown, like all this stuff. And I'm like, I know, I told you. It really, really is so much easier. And when you really step into you, and you really start honoring and valuing yourself, and you really start looking at yourself like, wow, I am special. I am gifted. I am unique. There is something different about me. And really honoring that, and then you allow yourself to believe that, your life literally just takes on this beautiful expression that you cannot even imagine.
No, but the reprogramming is just vital.
It
It's
is. You
just
have to
vital.
way around
And
it.
then the clearing away. So like even what the angels and I are doing in our soul illumination is shedding that light down into the root cause of
Mm-hmm.
whatever is going on in your life. And I don't have to know anything about you. I don't have to know anything about you. The angels bring up whatever it is because I'm a divine channel. So
Yes.
it comes, they just bring up whatever it is, and then it just comes to light, and then we just heal it, with light and weaving and untangling and reprogramming and Reiki Theta and all that kind of great stuff. And all you have to do is just commit and show up.
Yeah, I know. It's really cool. And it's so amazing because you don't know what your soul purpose is, and then a year and a half later you're fully expressing it, living it, be having all these angelic downloads, money is flowing, wealth is supporting you, your relationship is amazing, your children, your family has changed, everything has changed. And this is literally what happens with every single person that takes my courses and works with me and commits to it, right? And like does it. It's like so fast. It doesn't take forever. And even thinking of if you would have just tried to do it on your own, you know what I mean? It's like, you would have crashed and burned, like all of us, because we're not designed to do it on our own. I could never have done it on my own. I needed other people, to come and work with me and help me also.
But then you have these tools, this powerhouse of tools to walk and talk through life. So this last full moon brought up like a lot of stuff for me. And I was like saying to Randina, I don't fear anything anymore. But I'm like going, what? Like it was a bigger lesson. Usually I'm just saying, what is it? And it's shown. But it really like took several days until it came. Yeah. And then I was like, this is it. And I'm telling you, and you're like, whoa, that's big, So the angels and I sat down yesterday and wrote out this course, which will be for 3 weeks, and we're starting on Tuesday, and it's called to Forgive. Yeah. So the resistance had to come up for me to forgive this person for this act of violence to me, and in order to transform it, and then it had to happen so that I can teach others this. Yeah. Just like you're showing everybody all that you've done, and it's incredible, and I'm excited. So yesterday that was like, yeah, you love the resistance because you're about to level up.
Well, also too, it's like you know how Abraham says also, we don't forgive because we never blame. So there's also a human tendency to go into that blame, which in forgiveness, you are letting go of that so that you can also release resistance. It's also, forgiveness is a huge part of everything that you do, everything that we do, because you have to get to that place. It's a phase of healing. It's a level of healing. So I know
we beat each other up. We beat ourselves up more than anyone. We beat ourselves up more than anyone.
Yeah, I know. It's true. Okay, so let's see. Let's go and let's choose some winners. So we do have the Divine Effect sessions that I am raffling off, giving away to a live winner. That will be happening at 4:30 Pacific time. So make sure that you are ready for that. And then Amanda also offered to give one of her sessions away too. Yes. Hey, you want to give a session away? It'd probably be pretty cool. So she did. Also remember, the Rise of the Sacred Feminine is closing soon. So make sure that you jump on that, because that is the reprogramming of money. That's really connecting to your soul purpose. That's expressing your soul purpose. It really is flowing from your heart space. It's embodying the goddesses. I'm teaching you all about the goddesses. All of that stuff is going to be in there. So basically, it's going to be everything that I taught Amanda on steroids, because it is with the Divine Feminine. It's like
insane. And I love it. Like when you embody the goddesses, you know how people will say, wow, you're just glowing. Like, what is it you're doing or whatever? And you're like, I've embodied the spirit is working through me. Like, that is what that is, And, it just goes into every cell of your body, and you will shift and change, not just yourself, but just the way you view the world and how you view yourself.
Yeah.
Really. There's no price you can put on it. It's just the level of showing up for yourself and completing it. I have to say, and completing it. Yeah. Because when the tough gets going, don't get going. Stick it out, because it's the most beautiful outcome you'll ever.
Well, also, like, this one is so different. We're not doing any of the digging. I'm letting Christina do the reprogramming. So they're like getting a pre-session questionnaire to fill out for themselves, so they know exactly what area to target, so that when we go into session, it's it's like mastery of manifesting. It's like magic and miracles. You know how we did the magic challenge? It's like that. Yeah. Like, that's what I'm doing this time. I was like, been listening to a lot of Abraham. Abraham's like, stop digging, stop digging, stop digging. You have to focus on alignment. You have to do what you need to do to release the resistance and focus on alignment. And the fastest way to do that is to listen to the clearing audios. So you're clearing it out and then get yourself into alignment by also having the manifesting rituals and practices too. So it's not going to be tough. It's going to be so easy and so fast because I know that we're ready for it. And so I'm really happy about it because it really lights me up and it is so beautiful.
And even just the opportunity that you're giving people, because you were kind of like on the fence about doing anything, and then you're just doing it because it just feels, and you have to do it. And I'm just like, I'm so excited for those who haven't had a chance to work with you are going to just love it. And those of you who have worked with her know what instant transformation I mean, it was instant, and I was healed instant, like release, 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 and wow.
Yeah.
And look at it now, just look at it now. Now we have my group called True Illuminated Souls.
Yeah. Okay, so let's pick some winners.
Oh, good.
So let's see. I'm going to just scroll up and down, and wherever it lands is going to be the winner. We'll do yours first. So let's see who is the winner. Tamara Bomar is a winner.
Yes.
I don't know if you've ever worked with her or not. I love her.
No.
That's so awesome, Tamara. I'm so excited for you. You can PM Amanda. She will definitely take care of you and bless you, and it would be great. Okay, and so now let's do the Divine Effect session. Let's see who it lands on. Adriana Castro. Adriana, let's see. Adriana.
I've worked with Adriana, so I'm glad that you're going to work with Adriana.
Let me see though. Adriana, are you in the group? Are you in the course already? Can you respond? Because if you are, then you get it as a bonus anyway. So I would want to pick someone who might need it because you're already getting it. Let's see. Waiting for Adriana to comment. Tamara, she says, "Hells to the yeah."
Yeah, and it's a live session that we do. So, I mean, we'll do it on Zoom, and it's recorded, and it's just free.
Okay, Adriana. Cool. Okay, Adriana. So I will send you. I'll PM you the link for that for you to listen in. So what you're going to want to do is make sure that for at least 15 minutes before you get yourself into a position where you are not going to be disturbed, because we're going to be doing reprogramming in your consciousness. So you want to be in a space where it's quiet. You want to have headphones, definitely. Make sure that when we're done, you drink at least 2 tablespoons of organic apple cider vinegar in warm water. You might want to add some raw honey and lemon into that as well, because the apple cider vinegar will release the emotional toxins from your bloodstream and detoxify. Also, you're going to want to take an organic apple cider vinegar bath that night to cleanse your body too. So you want to soak for 30 minutes. So for the first 20 minutes, the emotional toxins are being pulled to the surface. And then the last 10 minutes, they're being extracted. So it's really, really important that you do that. Also with your lavender essential oil, light a white candle, think about your intentions of the things that you want to experience, and then let everything else go down the drain. You will feel sensations in your body, so make sure that you are ready for that. Also, it is a beautiful experience. It's all love. It's all light. It is amazing. So just even thinking about what you're ready to release right now, so that when we go into the session, you will already have that ready to go, and it'll just leave you instantaneously. So Amanda, thank you so much for doing this. Thank you so much for asking me to do it. I'm really happy that
Thank you. Just thank you for being you. I love you dearly.
You're welcome. I love you too. And I'm so happy
for everybody for watching. So
yeah. Bye everyone. I hope you have a beautiful day.
Bye.